Hatred, hatred, it's a thing. I mean, it's an undeniable thing. It's part of our reality. But to me, it's not that much of my life. I mean, there are very few things that I hate. Like I hate stubbing my toe, and I just can't stand it when I'm opening a cupboard and then I forget about it and I whack my head, and it's such a bad feeling. I hate that. But it's part of existing, I guess. And those are things that I can feel like a momentary just for. But I don't really have any like long-running hatreds or grudges or just things that I just detest. I have preferences. Like there are certain flavors that I just don't like very much, but a hatred, not really. I don't have like an intense, and anymore at least, I don't have an intense like hatred for something that I just wish didn't exist and I'd like to just like erase from reality or something. Doesn't really apply to me. But I do hate stinky bathrooms. They're awful. Going in one of those places it's the worst. And I don't understand the existence of like poisonous berries. Like why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? You just made poisonous berries? They're like, oh, it looks delicious, and you eat it, and it's delicious, and then you die from eating something that looks delicious. It's sad. It's why did the plant do that? I don't know. Yeah, but on to the main point of this. I don't actually hate like Stalin or Capone. I don't hate Genghis Khan. I don't hate all these like monsters of history, because for one, they're fascinating. Like looking at their story, looking at what they did, looking at like all of this stuff. Capone was really interesting. He's terrible, but he's really interesting. And the more interesting something is, the more that you want to get to know it, and the more that you want to get to know it, the more that you know it, and then the more that you know something, the harder it is to hate the thing, because once you know something very well, you tend to love it. And that love and that hate do not tend to exist in the same place. That's basically what I'm trying to say here. Romance that is created, if they didn't exist, that wouldn't be there. The atrocities they committed wouldn't exist either, but like, I don't know how to stop that. Like, you can learn to not let atrocities happen, I guess. I don't know. But I don't hate them, I guess. This is a little bit convoluted. Basically, I don't have like a impassioned hatred for Genghis Khan because of all the people he killed, because it was so long ago that it barely affects me, except that it really does affect me, because like Genghis Khan is still known in Mongolia. He's like a really important figure because he's really important. He's a really important figure, and so his actions still have noticeable effect in the modern world, even though he was a really long time ago. And there's much more recent figures like Stalin. You can see Stalin's effects on the modern world very easily. You can probably trace Capone's actions to modern day events and things. I don't know. He didn't cause the virus, but he probably caused some crime somewhere. Or at least some people did not have fathers anymore. They're dead, or they're gone, or they're locked away, or they can no longer be a menace to society. And so we can study them and learn about them and what caused them to exist, because at the end of the day, they're people. They had a mom and a dad, and they're still people. They were horrible people, made horrible choices and caused horrible things, at least as far as we know. But that doesn't make them not people. And that's kind of my opinion, or my fact. I don't know. You can't say they're not people, so it is my fact. But it's my opinion that because they were people, we shouldn't just inherently hate them because they existed. We should learn about them. We can hate things like stubbing our toes, but I don't think we should hate like Genghis Khan or Stalin. I don't know. They were products of their times. We can study them. We can hate what they stood for. We can hate murdering people. We definitely hate that, but I don't see it as being particularly productive, because it puts the focus on the wrong thing. It's like focusing really, really hard on not killing people versus focusing on helping people. Like, which would you prefer? A friend who is always focused on not killing people, or a friend who is always focused on building homes for the homeless, or giving muffins away, or making pancakes. I don't know, and maybe removing poison berry bushes from public parks. That'd be a good service for someone to do at some point. Yeah, but back to the monsters. They've left a legacy. Oh, I said that already. Well, they left a legacy that we can't deny. And you might hear the wind is probably coming across there. I'm very sorry. Yeah, this is just a little impromptu thought, and I'm going to be making more of these little videos about virtues or sins or whatever you're going to call hatred. I don't know if hatred's probably a sin. If it's a paradigm between virtue and sin, it's more of a sin than a virtue, but like hatred does have positive effects sometimes. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter that much what the difference is. It's a facet of existence. It's a attribute. I'm gonna call it a sin though, because that's my personal opinion. All that said, what's your opinion on this? Do you think that we should hate history's monsters, or do you think we should study them? Do you think both? We should hate and study them, or do you think that it doesn't really matter that much? They were a long time ago. They're dead. They're not ghosts, as far as we know. They're not ghosts. Like maybe there's like a Mongolian ghost of the Huns wandering around in like the ghost realm or something in another dimension.